Hello and welcome back to the Twin Spires Triple Crown vidcast. My name is Peter Thomas Fornatale. I'm here this week to take a look at the Arkansas Derby from Oaklawn. We're going to start by looking at a horse you might not have expected us to look at, knowing the results of this race. That's number 3, Elite Alex. I'm just going to show the first few yards of Elite Alex's run, and then we're going to rewind to the beginning of the video here. But as you'll see, Elite Alex breaks, and he's got his head high up in the air, and he's got blinkers on for the first time today, and I'm guessing he doesn't like these blinkers. You can see him kind of swishing his tail. He's got a little bit of a flag tail. He wants to get out there and run. And in the workouts that he had since adding the blinkers, that's what they let him do. He was running much faster, and I think they were letting him show his speed. And then they get in the race, and they're asking him to relax, and they want him to save that burst of speed for later, and it just doesn't work out at all, and he doesn't run his race, and that's sort of the last you'll see from him in the Arkansas Derby run. And it's kind of the opposite of Toby's Corner, who we showed last week, who settled so well with blinkers. But Elite Alex is one, obviously not going to be contesting the Kentucky Derby. I'm still not convinced that I was completely wrong about him. I do think he's a horse with some talent. I think he's been a little unlucky, and he's one that we'll look for later. Next thing we're going to look at here is the Factor. The Factor is massive favorite here. Maybe he was 3-5 in the end. A lot of people picked him. I'm not surprised that they tried to have him rate today. Reading the quotes in the paper from the trainer of the ultimate frontrunner here, JP's Gusto, it was pretty clear they were going to gun with him. And I think maybe they wanted to try to teach the Factor something. But unfortunately, he kind of wants to go on. And right there, his jockey grabs him and sort of forces him to settle. And he never really settles quite as well as he did on the lead in his other races. And people are going to use the excuse that the Factor apparently flipped his palate, had a breathing problem during this race. And some people might tell you that's why he didn't rate. I am inclined to argue it the other way and say that he's not really able to rate, and that's why he flipped his palate. Time will tell on him, but he's certainly not one that you can endorse with much enthusiasm for the Kentucky Derby after that. Okay, important thing about this racetrack on this day, it was extremely closer friendly. So you're going to want to upgrade the effort of a horse like Dance City, who's up here on or near the lead the whole time. And it's also something to keep in mind when you watch the move that this horse is about to make, Sway Away. You can see him now in the bottom picture. Sway Away comes here wide, very early into what is a fast pace on a closer-friendly racetrack. And when horses make this kind of move, they almost never are able to sustain it. What's happening here, in my view, is that Patrick Valenzuela is riding the race as if he only has the Factor to beat. And sure enough, he beats him. And actually, for a second here at the top of the stretch, he looks like he's going to end up home and hosed. But just as quickly as that, the closers start coming. And they're being aided by the grain of this racetrack. And that is going to include the ultimate winner, Arch Arch Arch, and also the ultimate second, who is so super impressive on the gallop out, as you'll see here, and that's Nero. Nero was everybody's, not everybody's, but he was some people's wise guy horse coming into this race, and he showed why and really ran super well. And you'll see the gallop out here. He's basically, you see him for about a second. He's in another zip code up here way in front, and is certainly one who likes the distance and could run very well in Kentucky. My inclination, given the grain of the track on this day, is going to be to give the slightest of downgrades to Arch 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 and Nero. I feel like if a closer is going to win the Kentucky Derby, it's going to be our boy Dialed In. And I think I'm going to attempt to beat these horses when they come back. They earned a very nice speed figure, a stronger speed figure than Dialed In earned, and who knows, maybe that means we can get some value on him. That's all I've got from the Arkansas Derby. Join me next week. Till then, Peter Thomas Fornatale for TwinSpires.com.